Yeah, hi there. These comments are for, I'm going to just say Sam. All right, you got a lot of questions. My goodness. So you said you came across my TOEFL videos on Facebook and you're interested in learning more about the course. Your first question is, how do you grade the listening and the speaking test? Interesting. And then, okay. Then your next question is, do you have a diagnostic test before you start? Yes and no. With the listening, I do not. With the speaking, I actually have a pronunciation pretest, two different pretests to help diagnose your pronunciation problems. And with the speaking section of my course, the best diagnostic I do is you start completing practice tests. That's the bottom line. And I've set it up, Sam, where there's a series of independent and integrated lessons. You kind of go through those lessons, and then when you feel ready, you can begin recording your speaking responses online. And at that point, I'll listen to the response, I'll score it, I'll even give you some audio comments, kind of like I'm talking to you now, and I'll give you an idea of what you need to do or what lessons you want to focus on to get better. So those are some of the things that I do with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I want to put two screens up here so I can see two windows. Okay, so going back to your question, to keep answering it, how many full-length tests do you have? I have, in my website right now, I have 40 listening practice tests, and my basic recommendation there is if you can score approximately 85% on my listening practice test, I think that you are ready to take the TOEFL IBT, right? With my vocabulary section on my course, if you can score 85% on the final exam of my vocabulary course, and that will test your mastery of 1,700 TOEFL words. If you get 85% on that, you are ready for the TOEFL. My pronunciation section of the course, Sam, if you score 5.1 or higher on that part of my test, you are also ready to take the actual TOEFL IBT. So in the reading section, I've designed that where I have 70 different speed reading tests designed to help you improve your reading speed from 100 to 350 words a minute, right? So once you can achieve over 300 words per minute, you are definitely ready to take the TOEFL IBT. So you have to think of my course like this. It's not just a website that has a bunch of TOEFL practice tests. It doesn't just do that. My website is helping improve your academic English proficiency, including your note-taking skills, your speed reading or your reading speed, your pronunciation and your intelligibility, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary, and all the other things important to helping you score high on the TOEFL. That's kind of how it works. So you can kind of look at my 7-step system. It's an indirect approach to building the academic English proficiency that you need to score high. However, it is not just a website about tests or taking tests. There is a lot more to it than that. You understand more about what I mean when you actually subscribe to my service and you see the course for yourself. There's over 330 lessons. There's 170 hours to help you improve your English proficiency, not just in the 4 parts of the TOEFL, but in addition to that, I can help you improve in your vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation areas. All right, so your next question is, does the $35 include practice tests? Yes, it does. You say, as I do have much time, do you have a fast track program? I think you want to say there, as I do not have much time. You know, it depends on what your TOEFL score is, I'll be honest with you, and how high you want to go, and that determines really how much time you want to spend in my program. But if you want to do a fast track program, I would recommend maybe that you approach my course from the perspective of maybe the pronunciation, the speaking and the writing sections first. Start going through those 3 sections, and as you go through those sections, for example, in the speaking section, if I think you have a problem with vocabulary, I will tell you. I'll say, oh, by the way, Sam, I just listened to your independent speaking practice test. You don't have really a good base of both basic and complex or advanced vocabulary, so therefore I recommend you go back to my vocabulary section and take a few weeks to learn those words. So that's maybe your fast track right there. Again, do the pronunciation, the writing and the speaking parts of my course first, and based on my evaluation of your performance on the practice test in those 3 areas, I can then make some additional recommendations as to what you need to do to get your English where it needs to be so that you can reach your TOEFL goals. Does that make sense? Anyway, thank you for contacting me, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.